like he was trying to be a host or anything at all. We literally was like, he was like, okay, maybe I'll just stay in the back and just chill out, and I will let me oversee something. Like, can you do it, Dozy? Can you? Like, it was kind of funny because we really did not know what we were gonna do. We were like, and it was funny because I didn't even know what I was there. I think when I met Danny first, I think Danny thought I was really quiet. He was like, yeah, exactly, right? He was like, yo, I don't think I spoke when I was there until like the end. Yeah.
You didn't.
Then Danny was like, oh man, you speak Latin. Oh, you should say something. No, it was great. No, you can continue though. I just because my vision of it was sounded similar to him. I was like, yeah, I don't know what we're doing.
So long story short, we have a conversation and we start creating this whole idea of leadership development project webinar something. So this is way too long of a title, but this is the best way I can describe this. We get a graphic made, everything, and the first like 2 or 3 like recordings we do, no one was, people kind of walked in and out, but no one really stayed. I was like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. Mm-hmm. Here's the kicker. This is where we knew God was doing something.
Yeah, I think I know what you're
we all three started realizing at the same time, we started developing a deeper relationship with God in the same month. Right. Started doing personal development the same month, and God opened these doors.
Yeah.
Cool. Our third recording takes place. Two younger kids, high school, maybe college age, walk into here
I'll never forget
and
this.
stand there. Like they just stand by that rack right there that guy was looking at, and just stood there and listened the entire hour. Come back to us at the end and say that they were coming here from Pinehurst to get the guy's iPhone fixed at the Apple store. And they heard someone talking in a retail store and were curious what was going on.
Wow.
That day, he told us that he had walked away from his faith. We're still in touch with him to this day. Walked away from his faith, and the way that I think it was either Danny or Dozy articulated something.
Yeah.
Their mind was like something broke off of them, where they realized, I never had a relationship, but I knew the routines.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to pray with him that day. We got like rededicated. We actually got to go to his baptism 2 months later. And he got baptized back at his home church.
That's awesome.
The point with all of that is, what people see now, the cameras, the store, people, it's like, we have chairs out, people want to listen. But the whole point is nothing happened until we started taking ownership of our own growth.
Right.
Yeah.
We live in a society today where a lot of emphasis of personal growth is gone. Or there's a lot of life coaches out there, a lot of leadership coaches out there. Great, I mean, that's great. Don't get me wrong. Like, those are valuable roles to be in. But if you don't apply what you're being taught,
right,
or if you don't take initiative to it, we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People wouldn't be listening through multiple cameras. We didn't even have multiple cameras.
We had
a broken tripod with the phone.
Exactly. I was going to say, we had a tripod with the phone up. That was it.
And the leg was broken. Mm-hmm. So half the time I was leaning it up against a chair just to get it to stand up properly. And now we have all the things that we see. I mean, even Sana, you said yourself earlier, this was like a whole new, you weren't even sure what this was anymore. Yeah, neither were we.
Yeah.
But it's because just like with you being with a CEO, with running your own inbound sales business,
right,
there's specific doors that will not open until you take ownership of your growth.
Yeah.
Because you are not in a place to handle what's coming your way.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think the biggest thing that stands out here is just there's so many times where God will inspire us with ideas or will put things in our head, and until we actually do or step out in faith, then there's nothing that He will actually do. Us sitting at home doing nothing about the idea that's in our head, of course God is not, there's no action to be used there.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put on the mic and there's 2 kids standing there and now you're at their baptism, that's what God's working with. And I think that there is just more and more of this culture where ideas and I'm just inspired and it would be so cool if, versus actually stepping out in faith and actually doing the thing that God has put in your head of inspired you to do.
No, but I think that goes into the mindset of not knowing who God is. You know what I'm saying? Because what happens is we get so caught up. I'm speaking from personal experience. We get so caught up in our own journey as far as it having to be perfect that we're afraid of making mistakes.
Right.
And so we put limits on, because we put limits on ourselves.
We talked about that right before the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, because we put limits on ourselves because we can't see ourselves doing this because we're afraid of what would happen?
You better preach.
If what would happen if I did this. Oh my goodness, I'm falling on my face. I'll be like. It's
Right.
funny because there's not many times when I've ever done something new that went wrong that it was ever like, oh.
I want you to
well,
finish that thought, but I want to tie into that failure real quick.
Okay. Oh no, go ahead.
So, we talked about this before, and I want
Yeah.
you to finish the thought. We have developed this concept of, in the Bible, failure is not final. In the world, failure is condemned and basically ridiculed and
Yeah.
saying you messed up, what the heck.
Man, that's mostly the beginning, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, when we don't take ourselves out of the failure is final mindset, we don't want to mess up. Problem is, you're human. So
Yeah.
guess what? You're going to mess up.
Right.
The thing is, like you're saying, is we need to get to a point where we see failure as I'm just learning.
Yeah.
The first time you walked, I guarantee you, at 10 months old, you were
Yeah.
not taking perfect steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you were, I need to meet you and understand what you did. Because my kids are trying to walk right now, and I want to make sure they do it properly. But we have to get out of this headspace of failure is a bad thing.
Right.
Be excited to fail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're learning something new.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
time to get out of the headspace of crap, I messed up here, I'm so sorry. Literally, that's what God's grace is for.